Hello and welcome to Big Dash Knows. Big Dash knows what? New York Giants football. Let's go. I'd be lying if I told you guys that it hasn't been a rough day for the New York Giants. Training camp, day 6, rough day for the New York Giants for a few reasons. We had a couple of people go down. Most noticeable name was Nabers. He gets banged up. They think it could be a possible shoulder issue. It was on a running play, got caught in the scrum of the blocking, and then, he goes down and had to walk off with Ronnie Barnes. Did not come back to practice, so that's a big deal here in Giants land to try to figure out exactly what happened. Obviously, if it's a shoulder, they're probably going to do some x-rays, and we hopefully should get an update not tomorrow because they're off tomorrow, once they come back on Thursday. So a lot of people holding their breath on the Nabers news. The good signs are he was able to get up, he was able to walk off. But again, he went inside and didn't come back out. But outside of that, again, when you're looking at this wide receiver room right now, you got Nabers now possibly banged up. You got Wan'Dale Robinson banged up, working on his way to come back. You got Jalen Hyatt banged up, working on his way to come back. We ended up losing Bryce Ford Wheaton already. When you're looking at this wide receiver room right now, it's like, okay, well, we went from having 10 guys to having like 5 guys, and what are we going to do? And we did pick up Gunnar Olszewski yesterday. He was on the field today. But when you're thinking about how we're going to get these reps with all these players down, Bo Collins and Dalen Cambry we're running with the ones today. You got some miscommunications because you don't have your quote-unquote starters in there. It was a rough day. I will say this too, though, when you're looking at the defensive side as well, just some of these notes. And it's funny because I usually like to keep this information at the end, but I'm just going with the flow right now. I'm hearing that the run defense did not look well today because Dexter Lawrence was not out there today. Again, I think that's more of a load management thing for Dexter Lawrence. There were no reports about him being injured or anything like that. He was just not involved in the team activities, and you saw that the offense was able to run the ball very well today. Speaking of being able to run the ball very well today, there was no Cam Scatterbull during team drills either. I believe they said they didn't see Cam Scatterbull at all. Yesterday he finished strong. Didn't seem like there were any injuries or issues. Maybe it's something personal. Maybe it's a sickness. I don't know. Maybe he ate something wrong. But no Cam Scatterbull today. Waiting to see if we can get some news on that. But despite that, strong day from Tyrone Tracy. What's his name? Motor. Good day. And then what's the speedy guy, number 25? He also had, was able to take advantage of some of the reps that he got today. So no Dexter Lawrence, and the run defense looks pretty weak. I'm not surprised. Now, the main thing this preseason, and when we're dealing with free agency period, we picked up some defensive tackles. We got Ledbetter, we got Robertson Harris, we got Darius Alexander. We got all these guys to try to bolster this run defense, and it's a little disheartening to see that Dexter Lawrence was not playing, so all of a sudden our running offense was able to get off today. Now, on another note, when it came to our passing defense and getting pressure on the quarterback, that was consistent and constant in today's practice. The amount of would-be sacks from either Brian Burns, who was at a fully padded full practice today. No, he was not limited today. And then Abdul Carter was going crazy and going off again. The passing defense, good day. Running defense, bad day. Dexter Lawrence not out there. Who knows? We got to fix this situation, though. We got to be able to stop the run when Dex is not on the field. We can't have Dexter Lawrence out there for 100% of the snaps. He's not built. He's not built for that. He should be able to get a drink of water. He should be able to take a breather without our defense giving up, massive amounts of rushing yards if he's on the sideline. It's not his fault. We got to step up in that department. Some other things that I thought were interesting when it came to practice. Elijah Chapman got some reps as a fullback lead blocker. There was one play for Tyrone Tracy where he scored the touchdown, as Elijah Chapman was the lead blocking fullback. Now, I don't know what that means for the tight end room as far as, is this just an experiment or is this something that they're really thinking about doing? because if Elijah Chapman can be both a defensive tackle and also a guy that can come in short down plays, maybe goal line plays to become that blocking fullback, I think that's a pretty good idea. He did do that, in college. What does that mean for Daniel Bellinger, who is the tight end / fullback H-back role? Does it mean that he could be, more expendable because we have a fullback now? But that's getting way too far ahead of myself and ahead of things. Again, this was one practice where we did see Elijah Chapman as a fullback. Other things that we saw today: Jackson Dart, not his strongest day today. He did have a nice touchdown pass to little Jordan Humphreys on a back shoulder pass, or I should say it was a fade in the end zone, back shoulder throw. Perfect ball placement, perfect time, and little Jordan Humphreys was able to extend his arms for the touchdown. Outside of that, he had an issue with some false starts. He had a snap also hit him in the face guard. I wouldn't say the whole practice was sloppy, but definitely some things that the team was dealing with today, and a lot of that had to do with communication with a bunch of UDFAs running with the ones as far as the wide receiver position. Bo Collins, Dalen Cambry getting a lot of snaps with the ones. Darius Slayton did have a strong day today in individual drills and also team drills. So Darius Slayton, everybody that wants to talk trash about Darius Slayton, but Darius Slayton has been probably the only constant we've had as Giants fans for the past 6 years. So shout out to Darius Slayton for another strong practice. Just thinking about some of the other things that happened, just some of the injuries of people that went down. I'll give you a quick recap of those. You had DJ Davidson. He was limping off to the side, leg issue. Nabers again was the shoulder. Wandell has a leg thigh issue. Hyatt has a hamstring. Hawkins has a groin. Nubin went down today too. Tyler Nubin went down for a play, for I should say a series. I believe it was a crossing route. Him and I forget who he ran into. It was another defensive player. They run into each other. Nubin goes down, but fortunately enough, he came back to team drills after that first series. And again, no Cam Scatterbull, and I believe that was it for the injuries. And yeah, talked about Nabers, yeah, and that was it for the injury. So a rough day for the Giants today. I'm pretty sure the rumor mills are going to be going crazy now. All the people that have been pushing for Gabe Davis to be signed, it's probably going to be even more of a push to sign Gabe Davis. You got the OBJ stuff going around and people wanting to bring OBJ back. Does that make sense now with everybody going down? The main thing that I know about these injuries right now, these are minor injuries when it comes to both Hyatt and Wandell Robinson. They've been limited, but they also been available in the individual drills. So that tells me that if we had to play a real game, these guys would be ready to go. Again, holding our breath for the Malik Nabers news. Again, he was able to pop up. He was, messing with his shoulder a bit, so we'll see, the extent of that injury. Hopefully it's just him getting banged up and he'll be good to go. Let him sit out a couple of days. Also, it doesn't hurt with the load management for his toe. That I wouldn't be surprised, like for me, getting into the preseason of it, especially the next couple of weeks. Maybe you do 1 day on, 1 day off when it comes to practice for Malik Nabers. I think we've seen enough. It's all about him being in playing shape. And from what I can see with the first couple of practices, especially the first week up until today, Malik Nabers is absolutely unguardable and looks even better than what he was last year. So if they want to control his load by giving him 1 day on, 1 day off type deal for practice, I'm with it. That's what they're doing for Dexter Lawrence right now, load management. So not too worried about that. I do want to get into some of the things Brian Dable talked about on the podium, but before I do that, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. If you are a New York Giants fan and you are not subscribed to this channel, first off, shame on you. Shame on you, but you can fix that right now by hitting that like and subscribe button. So Brian Dable was at the podium today, right, talking about a few different players. One of the guys he talked about was Evan Neal, and how Evan Neal has improved, especially with this position change. Said he's putting in more effort. He's staying late and asking more questions with the coaches, and just showing a constant effort and extra effort too. He said extra effort with this position change. Love to hear it. He talked about James Hudson and the energy that James Hudson brings, talking about he's a finisher. He likes to finish. And guess what? When it comes to your offensive line, yeah, give me the mean guy that likes to drive somebody into the ground. Let me see that more often. I know that James Hudson is that way. Marcus Bowe in college, the same kind of way. When I look at our finesse guys like Andrew Thomas, he's a finesse guy. You need somebody on this offensive line that's nasty, that's tough, that's mean, that has that streak in him, and hopefully he can help bring that out of the rest of the guys on the offensive line. Because right now, when I look at this offensive line, I see a bunch of solid players, but I don't see too many tough guys. But James Hudson has been proven already that he's one of those guys, and hopefully his demeanor rubs off on a lot of these other players. Also, he talked about the flat banks competition, saying, pretty much that this competition pretty much just brings out the best in both of these players. I do believe at some point in time they're going to have to make that decision on who is going to get the majority of the reps. Keep switching these guys out practice after practice. I mean, that's cool in the beginning, but once we really get closer to these preseason games, you're going to have to make the decision of who the first CB2 is going to be. And there were some plays today too. Shout out to Bobby Skinner. He had some reports talking about, I think it was a deep pass. It would have been a sack, but there was a deep pass. I believe it was to Bo Collins. And again, it's the same story over and over again. Tay Banks in good position, but just because he did not track the ball, he's not getting his head around, it ends up being a flag in the end zone. And it's just like, it's the same thing over and over again. Is it something that he's going to actually be able to fix? And the way that it's looking right now is it's going to be hard to try to get him to fix his ways right now, because he is setting them. He is absolutely setting them. And then again, Darius Alexander, another thing that Bobby Skinner had mentioned, the last couple of days when it came to practice, he has not seen too much Darius Alexander. We have high expectations for Darius Alexander here. High expectations. We expect that he is going to be the eventual starter next to Dexter Lawrence at hopefully in the near future. But right now he is not getting the reps with the first or second group that we thought he was going to be able to get. Brian Dable did say that he likes his length, he likes his athleticism. He said for a guy that his size, he is very, very quick, but he's still making mistakes. He's having some issues with the double teams. And I thought about it, right? I'm sitting there, first off, whenever he's playing next to Darius Alexander, nobody's double teaming. I'm sorry, when he's playing next to Dexter Lawrence, Alexander's not getting a double team. He is not getting a double team. I understand he has to work that in practice. You want him to be better. I'm just saying, to me, it's like, if anybody's getting a double team on that defensive line, it's Dexter Lawrence when he's out there. I understand he's not out there 100%. And again, the running game, the run defense was not good today with Dexter Lawrence not being out there. But back to Darius Alexander, he has to find a way to get the best out of his opportunities, and he has to find a way to get into that second team and ultimately that first team if he's able to do so. So that's all the notes. That's the wrap up that I have. They had a couple of players at the podium after practice today. You had Evan Neal just talking about the move and how he wants to do whatever the coaches tell him to do. He'll do it. Definitely a different energy than he had a few years ago. You had Tyrone Tracy at the podium, and there was somebody else and slipping my mind that was at Tay Banks. You also had Tay Banks at the podium too. Banks talking about the competition, saying that he has to get better in a few different aspects. Tyrone Tracy said he does not have a ceiling for himself. He think he can be one of those top running backs with all of the top running backs that's in the league right now. I love that confidence from him. But that's it, man. That's the video today. That's the recap. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and let me know if there's anything that I missed. But with that being said, I want to thank everybody for vibing with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And from one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.